Welcome, everyone, to Marvelous or the Death of Cinema. On this special Patreon episode, Patreon raffle number 10, we're talking about...
We're just in it. Okay.
We're talking about Malignant. Who selected this, Nicole?
It's Brunhilde.
Brunhilde. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the name
thank
of
you for giving me joy in my life again.
It's a very, very Teutonic name, Brunhilde.
No, when I think of a Brunhilde, I think about like a bitch
perfectly
with,
rectangular woman with like a blonde
with
bun.
Like big, or
She's like 6
no, I'm
feet
thinking
tall.
just like big Helga Pataki ponytails. Just looks like brooms coming at her fucking head.
Oh, or
And
that, yeah.
She's built like a Lego piece. That's a Brunhilde in my mind. She got like big, heavy titties. Just like, you know, lifts them up
Brunhilde
onto
is a matronly looking woman.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks like she's one of the matrons in
Miguel, can you just softly
Marcos Academy?
over this whole diatribe, can you just play the song Get You Wet by Plies?
Bet if I suck on that pussy, that'll get you wet. And rub my hand on that click, that'll get you wet.
Nobody knows what that is. That's not.
I don't know what
fake
you're talking about.
SoundCloud music that no one's ever heard
This
of.
is a song. You fucking racist. This is a song from 2007.
If I haven't heard of it, it's not real.
It's an R&B song.
Yeah. Well, you know what is real? This movie. Let's just start with where we usually like to go. What's our first experience with Malignant? How did Malignant come into each of our lives?
I watched it in October because I thought I should watch a movie that isn't 40 years old today.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how to feel about it.
I remember watching this in the midst of COVID, like whenever it was out on streaming. And I remember, or actually no, it was during COVID. Yeah, it was like a couple months after I moved in with Emily. It was like 2 months after I moved in with Emily. We were like, let's just put...
Oh, God. Did you show Emily this movie?
Yeah, Emily loves horror movies. Especially James Wan horror movies. Oh, my God. You could...
She loved this?
She loves fucking The Conjuring, the fucking The Conjuring 2.
James Wan is very girlfriend core horror movies. Not my girlfriend, but like the hypothetical mean girlfriend. Mean as an average.
No, Emily loves 2000s horror movies. I don't normally go for them, but I do like. I remember liking James Wan's Aquaman. You can watch our episode on that with Graham for more. But I remember watching this and I was like, "Holy shit, this is so good!" And I do still think it's a good movie, but I think I did kind of overrate it because it was COVID and this was like the first new good movie that I had seen at that time. So I think I gave it like a perfect score or something like that, or like a 4.5.
No, it was like a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, it was a 4.5.
Yeah. And I think it's closer to like a 3.5 with a heart for me now, but I still think this movie's a blast. It's a nice just fucking, studio genre film. You could call it a B movie. You could definitely call it that in the modern
It's a
sense.
big budget. Well, not that big a budget, but studio B movie.
I think if you tried to graft what a B movie is now onto the current cinema landscape, where your B movie is like a movie that's made for like $90 million and comes out, in an off month, your Januaries, your Februaries. I think that's what a B movie would be now, because it's either that or like Asylum ripoffs. Like we don't really have.
Well, this movie clocks in at a little over a RoboCop budget-wise.
Yeah. How much?
Yeah, this is $40 million, which is actually really a lot of money for a horror movie.
It is, but I think that for a WB horror movie, because how much of The Conjuring usually? You could say any amount of money and I believe you. Your Conjurings, your Saws, those are kind of what B movies are now.
Let me say.
Or your
the first Conjuring cost $20 million. So Malignant had double the budget.
Okay.
Conjuring 2 had the exact same budget of $40 million as Malignant.
So this is
those got
comparable. This is comparable if you kind of adjust a bit for inflation to the budget studio horror films got in the kind of studio horror boom of the Y2K
90s,
era.
Yeah, in the early 2000s.
So I'm looking up like 13 Ghosts, House on Haunted Hill, 99. Those had roughly equivalent budgets.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 1999 House on Haunted Hill had a budget of $80 million in
That's
1999. That's
insane.
insane.
That's insane.
Christ.
I don't even like the original House on Haunted Hill. It's like a really good episode of Scooby Doo.
Or no, the Haunting, 1999, The Haunting. House on Haunted Hill was like,
okay.
The Haunting had a budget of like 8. That movie sucks. Beyond the Haunting. That movie's fucking amazing sets, but otherwise it's so boring.
Sure. I don't really go for horror movies. I don't know if I've revealed this in the podcast, not a horror movie person. I smoke weed and watch Star Trek. I'm old. I don't go for this horror shit. You like put on Possession, put on fucking The Conjuring. I'm like, get the fuck out of my house. If it doesn't have a spaceship that's made out of...
All right, I'm not stopping by.
You're not stopping by. I'm putting on Star Trek and being
by.
like, damn, this is crazy.
There's horror movies with spaceships in them.
Yeah, Event Horizon.
There are. Alien.
Alien.
And I love both of those movies. Love both of those. I love Event Horizon, love Alien. Big fan of both. But yeah, no, I don't normally go out for the like, you know, you're the Nun type beats.
No, those are bad.
Oh no,
Fuck those.
Although I do remember those movies making fucking bank when I worked at the theater. There was The Nun Part 2. I remember we did a showing because there was a college where I used to live, and we would do like a midnight screening for the college students on Sundays. And the timing was a little bad. We ended up moving them up a little bit, and then eventually just merging them with the shows. But I remember that like college student only showing of The Nun was like packed. It was like standing room only.
There's like a divide between like horror movies for like easily startled teenagers that kind of just want to do like a fun house haunted house thing.
Yeah.
Although even that feels like too good for some of these movies. And then like people who like horror movies. So it's almost like the Five Nights at Freddy's versus like plays Silent Hill divide.
Stu, you're just being racist to Zoomers.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's people that want to go watch The Nun or Megan, and then there's people that want to go watch, I don't know, just literally anything else.
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't,
and I feel like there's not a lot of overlap between those two audiences because I've been a horror fan since I was an infant, and I've never really liked the big bombastic studio horror films very much. Mostly, there's exceptions, but
can I share my backstory with Malignant?
Yes.
So I spoiled myself for this movie because I'm an avid Red Letter Media watcher. Watched their video on this where they're basically saying, "What the fuck is this?" So I knew the big twist of this movie going in, and I thought it would be a really fun idea to take my dad to go see Malignant.